shield unbound, my pride will waver not. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. And if I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. But war is cruel, my comrades die, and I go on alone. I will not stop to ask them why, I know I can't go home. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. And if I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. My back is broke, my armor's rent, my blood is on the field. My sword is gone, my body's spent, I lie upon my shield. I faced my foe, they laid me low, but I go with a smile. The labyrinth, it calls to me, I'll wander it.
Giving or receiving? That's the...
That is indeed the question. But let us not open with that, because that would be an awful thing. We should be all suave and nonchalant, you know?
I don't think we can be.
No, I don't think we can. We're doomed.
Pretty much. So we are live. So welcome to another music stream. This is the final music stream that we've got going on in this run of Empire Month. We've got the marvellous, the wonderful, the handsome me, and Justin's over there as well.
Yeah, I sure am. Somebody jammed this on my head and shoved me into a seat. I think they might have made me wash as well.
Exactly.
You.
So we've got the wonderful Justin with us this evening. Justin has been on the stream a few times now. Has become a bit of a regular, and they have always gone off on massive tangents where they've always ended in laughter, and they have always been silly, and they have been some of my favourite streams to do. Been a lot of fun. So, how are you doing in lockdown and lockdown 2 Boogaloo?
Lockdown 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'm doing all right, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, better than the first one, ironically enough, because I'm sort of used to it. I've eased in. So my routine hasn't changed in the slightest, because before, during the lockdown, it was Justin, essential worker, postman, gets up at the crack of dawn, goes to work, comes home, sits down, hugs the wife, who hasn't stopped playing RimWorld while she's working from home. We play more RimWorld, we watch a movie, we get something to eat, we rinse, repeat, and yeah, that's the life at the moment. RimWorld and occasional recording.
Yeah.
And what you've been an absolute light in the darkness throughout this all, man. Seriously, thank you for doing this. I know. I know. I can fit more of you into my mouth, but I shan't at this point.
Yeah. So speaking of blowjobs.
This interview is over. No, seriously, Steve. You light throughout this all. While I'm doing my bloody half marathon on foot, putting on your YouTube videos after the fact, and listening to them has been getting me through the day. It's been fantastic.
Oh, that's
Thank
awesome.
you to Steve, everyone, and the chat.
Oh, cheers, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. These have been a labour of love, shall we say. They've been really, really good fun to do. So, and I think it's all culminating with the fact that I now get to film the new Empire trailer and do all of that. So it's all going.
Dude.
It's all going really well. We have a lady contacted me who does costuming and everything for film and TV, and she's involved now to make sure everybody's looking good. So I've surrounded myself with all these professionals, and then I'm there.
Well, you brought them all together. You're the what's the word we look for here? The producer? Not is it the producer? Is that the one who brings it together?
Bait, I think, is the best
You're
word.
the bait. You're the bait.
I'm the bait.
Now, come on, ask me some questions about music. I've been looking forward to it.
You're gag. Yeah, we know. Yeah, so we've had a very Navarre heavy music streams, and it's been very, very nice and unique to see how different everyone is. So obviously, like with Jamie, Sam,
and Jamie Senpai, he is best.
Jamie's incredible.
Oh
so
my God,
so incredible. It was.
Yes. We could have a whole episode of just singing that man's praises.
It was so good. He was the guy's immense. He really is. So if Jamie, you're watching this, much love. Mwah. So good, so good. So are we back to blowjobs again?
No, we're not.
Anyway,
Can we just move on from that?
so we've had it's. I think the good thing that all these musical streams have shown is first of all, how talented everyone is and how different the styles are. And then also when you cross nations, how different all the briefs are and how different the styles are. Because Jamie was touching on that on Wednesday. So where we had Dawn singing right at the beginning, and that with the Dawnish style, and really, really good. Dawn's just a very, very talented lady. And then obviously we go to Wintermark with Pud and that, and he's just immense anyway, and then obviously we hit the Navarre,
Then we slum it here,
and then we slum it in the Navarre, and that. So I saw a little tangent. I saw the thing on Facebook of this lady saying, "Oh, I'm torn between Navarre and Wintermark."
Oh,
and here's me,
and
I was just like, I want to comment on this. But I've gone the other way.
I resisted.
I was just thinking to myself, I need to go and say, yeah, Navarre are great. Go and join Navarre. But I think everyone in Wintermark would have gone, but you're in Wintermark. It's just, I was conflicted, shall we say.
I was conflicted as well, mostly because... So I totally get why it's a big decision between the two. Because they're two of the biggest nations, and from a costume point of view, they're very similar. Yeah. Not awfully so, but very similar. But as someone who's been playing in it for the last 4 to 5 years, they're so completely different. Different. I'm trying to think of it. The difference. It's the difference between a block of cheese and a carrot. Yes, they're both food, but one is clearly a different color, and one required an awful lot more work, whereas the other we just pulled out of the ground. They're just completely different. It's just the outlook and the feel of it, because you go to Wintermark, you've got the three nations, you've got the three traditions that roll in, but maybe the Calavesi, none of them really compare to what you're going to be doing in Navarre, because it's sort of an entirely different play style.
Yes.
But we're tangenting now.
Yes, we are massively, but that's fine.
I found that I typed a whole paragraph and then I was like, no, delete. This is the Wintermark forum. Don't go educating them about how wonderful Navarre is. Let them tell her how wonderful Wintermark is, and get them to join that, and then she can make a post on the Navarre forum, and we can tell how awesome we are there.
Yeah, it was an interesting one to read, but still. So, sorry, choking on air there.
Yeah, please don't choke on air.
We had you've been in the Navarre for quite a while now, like 5 years.
So how long has Empire been going? Are we on our 7th or our 8th year?
Well, yeah, 8th year technically.
8th year technically. Then technically, I've been here since the end of year 2. Yes, year 2. I was here when we moved to Spurn. I joined when we moved to Spurnhall and have pretty much been there ever since.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, that's
So
6-7 years of LARPing. Wow,
it's disgusting
Yeah.
behaviour.
I know, and it's great.
So when did you? I've also got these new prompts and stuff like that appear.
Ooh, I
In
know.
chat.
I've seen them. Are we still eating hair, or has that been changed?
So, oh no, I haven't changed that yet. I will do.
Yay.
But no, we get ones that tell us to check our posture and hydrate. So,
Well, don't worry. I have my hydration jug around here somewhere. Ah, there we are. Yep, the mighty hydration jug. Justin has decided to stay on, H2O tonight rather than alcohol. So no embarrassing drunkenness from Justin.
that's a shame. But yeah, I've got orange juice for this evening. So, so when was it? When was it you did? And Rosie has redeemed posture check. So just make sure you're sat comfy. I've got a nice cushion behind me, so I'm all right. So when was it you decided that you wanted to get involved in the singing and stuff like that?
Oh, so that happened on not the Friday night of my first event. So this is the first event that we're on Spurnhall Farm. So I think it's year 2. Is it year 2, first event of Spurnhall Farm? Because you came a lot. How long were you away after you were set? How long did you stay away after Sarados? Because it was either year 2 or year 3. It doesn't matter.
I missed about 3 events.
You missed about 3 events.
Yeah. So because I missed you turning up.
Yep. Then it would only have been year 2.
Yeah.
So E1 year 2 Saturday night. What got me into the singing was Jamie Wakefield's Song and Stories. It was pretty much the hook, the line, and the sinker, and I've been coming along. I've been doing that ever since. Because after a bit of a rocky start on Friday evening, which was a crap evening until some really good stuff happened, I did the battles. I involved myself in the battles, and that was great. And then the sun went down, the fighting stopped, and suddenly, literally, 2 tents over from me, the fire pit has been set up, and the singing has started. And I sat down, and I was like, well, this is bloody amazing. And I can't remember if I got up and sung anything on the Saturday night, whether I debuted the 9 there, because this was a 4-dayer. So we had, so Friday night there wasn't any, and then we had it both the Saturday and the Sunday night, and it was phenomenal. It was literally the cap on my event. By that point, I was hooked with wanting to do Empire, because I'd done the fighting, which I loved. I'd run around, I'd sold my booze, which was fun. I talked to lots of interesting people, and now I got to sing. And just, that's where it started. All Jamie Wakefield's fault again.
Bastard.
Bless him, genuine. And then to make it even more better and special is I came back from there, still, humming the battle anthem, still trying to figure out the words to Red Hound and buzzing from, On the Wall and all of the great hits. And then I got home and found he had a SoundCloud and a Bandcamp album. And then, that was it ruined for my wife, who was just like, so you've stopped listening to Slayer all day, every day, or whatever your flavor of the week is, and now it's just this Jamie Wakefield fellow. Yep, forever.
Excellent.
That was it. Literally, every run up to Empire for the next 2 years would involve putting his SoundCloud on and listening to it. He was pretty much the sound of Navarre. He was pretty much the funnel into immersion for me, and I can never thank the man enough for it.
Yeah.
I squee and hero worship at him enough every time I see him, and I'm sure that he looks at me and goes, "Why is Justin standing there like this?" Like this, and groping himself. Would he just stop?
Yeah. Stop touching yourself.
Never.
So, Pete, is Justin's audio all right now? I've turned him up a little bit at my end. So
Oh, was I quiet?
No, yeah, it's fine. I can fix you at my end, so that's fine.
Right, hold on.
You
I
should
can
be.
move myself a bit closer.
Oh, don't, because I've just turned you up, so I'll make you even louder.
Oh, fine. I'll move myself a little bit further away. Yeah.
So that's you should be fine now.
Should I? Okay, really good.
Fuck's sake. Let's turn you
Am I
down.
fine now? Oh, you're turning me down again.
Let's turn you down a lot, I think.
Charming.
Rosie has said, I have so much respect for everyone who does music at Empire, especially song and stories. I've been wanting to get Cinder involved, and every time I've chickened out.
Oh, don't, Lucy, don't. We are
Rosie.
easily the most... Sorry, Rosie.
Rosie.
Don't. We are it's literally... Have I not said Rosie twice? Or do I keep saying Cindy? I do have that impediment.
Well, you said Lucy
Anyway.
at one point, so...
Be gone. Let me answer the question, Steve Satan. Twitch Satan. That's what you are now. Twitch Satan. Satan. So ignoring Twitch Satan over there for a second. Get involved, Rosie. Genuinely. Songs and stories is, and this is one of the reasons why I won't leave Navarre, and why at the end of the day Steve has had so many people from Navarre online, is I think out of all the music that's available on the field, we're easily the most accessible. Because we have that public space, and because we have a set time, we have a place where you can go and where you know you're going to either get to sing or listen to it, and just bring your game. We love it. We love new performers. We love new sounds, and we love watching people shine. You know, we love watching people strut their stuff. And I'm not just saying that for myself, because I love seeing new people sing. Even if you can't carry a tune without using a wheelbarrow and getting planning permission, I'm probably still going to enjoy your performance.
Wow.
And so just go for it. Just do the thing.
Yeah, definitely. Rosie says, I shall now be called Lucy. So, excellent. That's awesome. So
What have I done?
So Jamie got you started it all then. So what was the first song you ever sang then in front of everybody?
Oh, you know damn well what it was. It was Doing the Nine, because I'm an awful person, and it's awful. And I'd pulled it, and I'd literally, you said that I wrote it on the way to Empire.
That's a kid
And
story, that one.
Yep.
That's what
and
Kit
I
told me
did,
that.
and it's sort of a mix of things, because at the time I was in a sea shanty band called the Bearded Bellowing Bastards. We did 2 gigs, both of which I missed because I was working. Did about a dozen practices and learnt a whole bunch of sea shanties. And with the run up to this, I'd literally learnt every sea shanty I could find. And I was like, do you know what? I think I understand this. I'm going to write my own. And I wrote an absolutely gobsmackingly would be barred from every building I went into foul one.
Right.
And then I taught Kit this, because that's just what you do with your friends. And we'd written lots of horrifically explicit verses. And then we're driving up to Empire, and I'm like, I want to write an Empire song. What if we take my foul sea shanty and sanitize it and make it all the Empire nations? And then we did. I came up with the tune, I came up with the chorus, and then Kit edited, and lo and behold, the 9 was born. Everyone was they didn't know what to make of it the first time round, and then the second time round they warmed to it. The third time round, everyone knew the words. The fourth time round, there were people in other sides of the field singing it because they couldn't get away from the sheer volume I was kicking out. And by the 5th time round, Jamie wanted to stab me every time I started singing it, and that was great too. And then it sort of went from there.
Because I fell in love with that song the first time I heard it. I just loved it, and I know I'm definitely one of the ones who will constantly ask you to sing it, because I just love that song. It's so good.
And I'm utterly happy to sing it. But do you know what my favourite bit is about that song?
What?
It's singing it once and being told that I was doing the wrong words, and having somebody stand up at the tavern that I was drunkenly singing along in and give me their rendition. And I'm sat there going, yeah, this is happening. Oh, clearly I wasn't smutty enough. Clearly I didn't want to be banned after what you just said, but you carry on. You do you. Oh my God. I'm proud. I've created a song. I've said it in the world. I'm watching it destroying people. It was great, literally, about about a year afterwards, there were posts coming up online going, yeah, that song. And I'd pop up and go, hello. And people would go, can I change the lyrics? Can I filk it? And I'm like, dude, I let the song out. Do with it what you want. And I've heard so many renditions. The gender bent one is my favorite one.
What the ladies going around?
Yes, but it's the ladies going around banging everyone. That one's my favorite. I love it.
I don't know how to tell you this. Have you heard the gay one?
The gay one, yes, I've heard that one too. Love that one. What I haven't heard is apparently there's one out there which is smut free.
Really?
Like who writes a smut free song about going around the empire and shagging people? It's just what?
I feel dirty even knowing it exists.
I was slightly devastated when I was told, but I was like, you know what? No, it's all good.
Yeah, I think, I mean, apart from listening to a lady going around and sleeping with other women of the empire is my favourite one. I don't know. I know that there's a tame one, and I know that there's one out there that is really, really bad because it involves doing a certain act that you cannot talk about on Twitch.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I was crying. I heard that. I wasn't even involved. I wasn't even in that tent when they were singing it. I was walking past and I heard it and I stopped and listened and I was crying. I had to go off and have a sit down with like a couple of pints.
Well, I'm glad I could contribute towards that, Steve.
It was amazing.
I really am.
It was amazing. So, we hopefully your mic stands up to it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I generally aim for about three, sometimes 3 or 4 songs on the stream.
What would you like me to sing? Dealer's choice.
The 9.
The 9. Okay, let's go. So if I'm cutting out, wave, and I will try and tone it down a bit.
I would say just try to tone it down a little bit anyway, and then hopefully that will work. I have told everybody about the 9 because I love this song.
I know you have.
So I will mute myself.
Okay.
So on this, so that they won't hear me singing along, because no one needs that.
All right. Mute yourself, and a 1 and a 2 and a ho. I once knew a girl from Varushka, and she's the one who set the bar, the girl from Varushka. And now the trods are calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from Varushka. Now, for the sake of the mic, I'm not bellowing this at the full volume I would, but imagine you're around a fire, and rather than doing it slowly and articulate, I'm going, and now the trods are calling me, I'm falling all over the place. Anyway, on to the second verse. It does
happen.
I once knew a girl from Wintermark. We had to do it in the dark. The girl from Wintermark, because I'm ugly. And now the trods are calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from Wintermark. I once knew a girl from the Marcher's Land. She finished me with just one hand, the girl from Marcher's Land. And now the trods are calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from Marcher's lands. I once knew a girl down in Dawn, 6'10" and full of brawn, the girl from down in Dawn. And now the trods are calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from girls in Dawn. I once knew a girl in the league, my stamina she did fatigue, the girl from in the league. And now the trods are calling me, calling me, calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from in the league. I once knew a girl from Orisen, Orisen, Orisen. I tell a lie, 'cause I had 10 girls in Orisen. And now the trods are calling me, calling me, calling me. And now the trods are calling me away from Orisen. I once knew a girl in Old Highgard, Old Highgard, Old Highgard. Those priestly robes made me so hard, the girl from Old Highgard. And now the trods are calling me, calling me, calling me. And now the trods are calling me away from Old Highgard. I once knew a girl in the Brass Coast, the Brass Coast, the Brass Coast, and she's the one who cost the most, the girl from the Brass Coast. And now the trods are calling me, calling me, calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from the Brass Coast. I once knew a girl, she was an orc, was an orc, was an orc. When she was dead, I couldn't walk. The girl who was an orc. And now the trods are calling me, calling me, calling me. Yes, now the trods are calling me away from all these orcs. And there's one more nation in there somewhere. See, normally at this point, everyone has been roaring along because they figured out how it goes. And at that point, I suddenly get amnesia and I stumble around, look in my drink, and go, have I forgotten a nation? Is this doing the nine like in Game of Thrones? And then everyone, eggs me on. Are they egging me on in the Twitch there? Yeah, are they trying to remind me which nation I've forgotten? Because I know I've forgotten one nation, because I always do. Eggs. No, eggs are not a nation. Try again. Oh, the most important one. We've already talked about Highguard. What else have we got to do? Oh, not yet. We've done Urizen. We've done Urizen. We've done League because League and Stamina did fatigue was a very difficult rhyme to sort out. Oh shit, Navarre. Have we not done Navarre, Steve? I've not done Navarre, have I? All right,
No.
Navarre. Oh, I once knew a girl from the Navarre, the Navarre, the Navarre. She tracked me down, I didn't get far. The girl from the Navarre. And now the girl has married me, married me, married me. And now the girl has married me. The girl from the Navarre. The girl from the Navarre. Hey!
Excellent.
Did I cut out left, right, and centre? Because I tried to keep that as quiet as I could.
Right at the end.
I knew I would because I held that note, and I know that
right at
Discord
the
does
end
not
there.
like me holding notes.
No,
Rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, I'm louder and more tuneful in real life.
Oh yeah, massively so, massively so. Oh, thanks for the bits, Joe. That's awesome, man.
Hey, well done, Joe. Keep up the claws.
The
Mike, more questions.
The mic can't handle your epic voice. No, this is very, very true. In fact, it really, really can't.
It's not the mic. It's Discord that hates me. I have tried, literally, I have 4 different microphones around my house. I can record on them. I can dance on them. I can Skype on them. Can I Discord on them? Can I?
So yeah, something I forgot to say at the beginning is that if you've got any questions for Justin at any point, just ask, and we will get round to them.
Please do.
And
Please
things
do.
like that. So
I love answering questions.
So what would you say to? I mean, we've already had Rosie / Lucy say ask about saying that she wants to perform and stuff like that. So because we get quite a lot of new people watching these and stuff like that.
More the merrier. Please come enrich our game. Come join us. Come be excellent with us.
So
stay away from my hat.
Unfortunately, most of them are going to Dawn. So
well, that's all right. I suppose I can mug them.
This is true. I didn't think of that. Yeah. So, after, I mean, also because after you wrote the 9. I mean, that everything
Yeah,
sort of like ballooned for you. Everything blew up,
it
didn't
did.
it? And then you were doing a lot more stuff.
I
So
was. Now, sorry, go on. Ask.
no, go. So what were you going to say?
What I was going to say is, and I thought about this, it didn't exactly balloon because after I'd done the 9, so the 9 was more or less, no, it's not more or less, the 9 is an original composition.
Mm.
It may be that somebody will, show up one day and go, "Hey, Justin, listen to this," and play me a YouTube clip, and I'll go, "Huh, what year was that? Was that, 1964, somebody recorded that, and you've copied it." And I'd go, "Oh, okay, well, I guess. Sorry. Guess I filked that one as well." But that was the first. That was the first, the main original composition that I did. And Jamie touched on this, as he said, that with everyone who writes filks, and I love writing filks, they're genuinely my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I've been filking before I knew that it was called filking because it was just a fun thing. But after that point, I did a lot of filks,
Yeah.
and some of them stuck, some of them did not. Some of them were literally just pick up and throw, and I went through dozens. There's one, there's one from. So, quick spoiler alert: I get the majority of my filks from TV, as strange as it may sound, because you'll be watching a show. In fact, you'll be watching a show, and Sons of Anarchy was a perfect bloody example. You'll be sat there, and suddenly Joshua, what's his name? It's Joshua something or other. I've literally got all of his albums, so I should know, but I've not listened to him in years. Suddenly kicks in around episode 4 or 5 with Cold War, and then you find out that he's done a track for literally every episode. And I've seen the man live, and he's about yay tall, and he's adorable, and he's got the biggest set of pipes on him, and he's wonderful. And I went and I took Cold War, and I swapped it round, and it became Long War, because Cold War is, and I'll sing, but is in cutting my hair. Oh wait, can I? No, I shouldn't sing copyrighted material, shouldn't I?
No,
So
definitely not.
I'll sing the filk. The filk was, "Ain't cutting my hair till the war is done. Ain't cutting my hair till the war is done. Ain't cutting my hair till the war is done, and every battle's finally won. Ain't cutting my hair till the war is done, and it's a long war. It's a long war." Now that film, obviously, I changed the verses, and I did a very little to the chorus, but it was relatively obscure. But that's where I get the majority of them from. I'll hear something, and I'll go, "That I can change that. I can change that and this, and now it's setting specific, perfect." And
Yeah.
that's where I sort of did my thing. That's where I sort of did my thing, and I sung quite a few, but I'm trying to think the next big one, which really pushed me up. The
Well,
Lament for Cat is.
Pete's asked something as well, which is kind of touching on what you're talking about as well. It
Please
says,
go ahead.
to your knowledge, is there a forbidden song at Empire, or the one that must not be filked? Like,
Yes.
toss a coin to your Witcher.
Oh,
for
right.
example.
Okay. So there are forbidden songs which no human being should sing at Empire. I know 2 of them.
Okay.
They will never be sung at Empire, despite the fact that I learnt them at Empire. Empire.
What are they? What are they?
I'm not telling you. People will go look for them, and then we'll have to put up with that. No,
Right. Okay.
they're wrong.
So are they forbidden just because they're bad, or?
They're forbidden because they break an awful lot of the conduct code with their lyrical content.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So you know one.
Is it okay? Yeah, I think I might know one.
Yeah, it involves toes, remember, and placing one's hand upon them.
Oh yes, yeah, I definitely know that
Yeah,
one.
you know one of the Forbidden Empire songs.
Yes.
Anyway, so to answer your question, there are no filks on the field that are forbidden, arguably, and there's an etiquette to this, right? Because when you filk a song, you want to pick something. You want to take something which I call the drunken idiot factor into account.
Yeah.
So if I come out with with a perfect, completely changed, the only thing that's there is the tune, Filk of Wonderwall. Doesn't matter how loud I am. Doesn't matter if I've got 4 people wandering around holding up cue cards with the lyrics on them. Some drunken idiot is just going to sing Wonderwall over you.
Yes.
And at that point, you've not so much committed a faux pas, though people will look and go, "Wonderwall, really? Okay, okay," but you're not going to have the same impact because at that point, arguably, every fire you're going to go around, there's going to be one drunken idiot who is going to want to join in, and who's going to sing, and who's going to sing Wonderwall over your wonderful Wonderwall Filk. So avoid anything like that is probably the best thing. Oh, and Stacey's mom, that should never be sung in character.
No.
A particular chapter in Highguard have a Filk in what they call the Forbidden Songbook, which is hysterical.
Yes, they do.
If you figure them out, ask about Solomon's mom.
Because, yeah, there was because I mean, I always ask for Wonderwall, but I'll always ask for Wonderwall on the Thursday night when we're all sat around the fire and nicely drunk. So I will always turn around to you and say, "Do you know Wonderwall?" and it's like the same to Smith when we're around our fire and he's got his guitar out and he's just playing along and stuff like that. I was like, "Do you know Wonderwall?" Because when we all went camping, because I was one of the lucky ones who got to go camping before, it was literally like the weekend before they reduced it all to 6 people.
Nice.
And Alex was there one of the evenings, and he was just there. And I turned around to him and I said, because he's like you, he's very, very talented when it comes to coming up with lyrics and stuff on the fly.
Yep.
He
was
just there strumming along, and I went, "Do you know Wonderwall?" And then he came up with a song called "Steve, You're a Twat," and
did it go? Today was the day when I found out Steve was a twat.
It wasn't even anything to do with Wonderful. It was great. Oh man, it was really, really good. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's like there's definite songs out there that you hear and it's like, please don't filk that song. Like example, "Toss a Coin to Your Witcher" is going to be.
What? Well, okay. So toss a coin to your Witcher. The problem with toss a coin to your Witcher isn't, because I was thinking about this earlier today. But...
Oh, excellent. So, it's just me. No one else is here yet, so we've lost Justin. Let's move him back in.
There.
No idea. We've lost your camera as well.
Okay, hold on. And yeah, I'm back. Everything's good.
Yeah. So
so we were talking about toss a coin to my Witcher. Your Witcher. So, ironically, I've written a filk of that.
No.
No. It's called "Toss a Coin to That Wanker."
Oh, okay. That's probably better.
It pretty much goes, "I tossed a coin to that wanker because I had plenty. I tossed a coin to that wanker for my prosperity. And then all the verses are about people wandering around Amble going, "This costs too much," and you throwing a coin at them.
Okay, I like that.
That is never going to be sung in the field. I just did that as a bit of a silly thought exercise. But in fact, that's probably the perfect example of not quite a faux pas. You see, if one person shows up and does their filk of toss a coin to their Witcher, and it's pretty awesome, and everyone doesn't instantly pelt them with mud, it would probably be acceptable. But there will be 800 different filks, and some of them will just be lazy.
Yeah.
They literally won't change like the Elf on the Shelf line, because clearly they hate the setting. It's upsetting. That is the concern with that song. But I think everyone's gotten it out of their system now that The Longest Dark is there.
Yes.
The Witcher is no longer in the zeitgeist. Somebody will try and sing it, and everyone will just go,
Yeah,
And then either go, well, that was great, or throw them out of their tent.
I think I remember on one of the Friday nights, because there is a filk to that the sharps on Over the Hills and all them, and that one.
Yep, I've written one of those. Was about 3 round the field.
And I heard one of my favourite people in the Navarre.
Phelan.
Yes, I was trying not to say any names.
I was there that night.
And I was sat next. I remember that. I was trying to remember who I was sat next to. It must have been you then, because we were sat there and he was singing it, doing a good job as he always does. And then he was just like, when he says around Flanders, Portugal, and Spain, and everyone was sort of like,
"Where's Spain?
Where's that?"
And he just hammered on like a trooper.
He did. It was like, what's Flanders? Where's Flanders? Are they part of the Iron Confederacy?
They must be.
That was brilliant.
Ironically, that was sort of the instigator for me to go, okay, I need to actually write one down. And I remember chatting to some people at like 4 in the morning, a Varushkin and a winter marker, and we were having a great time because she was like, I can never, ever drop this accent. I don't actually sound like this in real life, but while I'm stuck on field, I talk like this, for I am Vanya.
Vanya.
And we had a nice long conversation about, ironically, Over the Hills and Far Away, and whether it could be correctly filked. And this was after that. And she was like, yeah, I've heard one at LT. And then we went through the LT one, and then we went through the one that was sung at Maelstrom, and we juggled around. And I went away, feeling a bit better, because there are so many filks out there, and it's great. It really is. There's like a whole galaxy out there. And for God's sake, ladies and gents, anyone watching this, don't feel discouraged if you find somebody's already filked it. For God's sake, don't be discouraged. You're adding to the creative process. Keep it going. I'm pretty sure that there's more than one version of Leave Her Johnny, Leave Her on the field, though obviously mine's the best. You'd pull that face, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, more questions before we ramble off the cliff.
So one of the new people who has joined, she's going off into Dawn, is Gigi. She's starting her own Dawnish house
Gigi.
and all of
I've
that.
heard so much about you, Gigi. You're clearly best girl to this guy.
I'm getting... Wow. Yeah, she's written a couple of songs. So I think the song that she wrote is actually I didn't change it, so it's still playing before this stream as well. So she has done really, really well when it comes to it. She's very, very talented. So it'll be good.
I can't wait to hear your stuff.
So yeah, there's a few though. We've got Mike as well.
What does Mike do?
Mike has written. I don't know the song that he's filked, but basically it's a filk about Mac, and
of course you love it. Somebody wrote a song about you, Steve. Well done. You've won at LARP now.
I've won at LARP, and
you've won at LARP.
And it was I can't remember the line. It's like don't wake me Grimmy. It's brilliant. I've got it. He sent it to me. I will. Oh,
share it with me later.
This stream is heresy, and that's why we love it.
Heresy!
That was bizarre because that came through my monitor, not my headphones.
Wasn't it amazing?
That's weird. I don't understand that. I'm confused and scared.
Fire the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's me.
Fine, rehire the sound tech.
Just to fire them again. But yeah, Mike's he's slowly putting stuff out there. He's doing really well.
Has he got a SoundCloud?
I don't know actually. If you're still watching, because I know he's streaming tonight as well.
Get a SoundCloud.
So
seriously, do it. I want to hear your stuff. And SoundCloud is just so good for it.
I might have to put a channel in the Discord just for SoundClouds only, just so people can put in their SoundClouds in there. And so
don't go to mine. It desperately needs updating. And I'm far too much of a procrastinator to update it.
I did the what was it, Course of War lyric video to that song
Yes,
for you.
you did.
And you said
And
you
I
want.
still haven't re-recorded.
And you said to me, "Don't put it out. I want to re-record it."
Yep.
It's been sat on YouTube for so long. YouTube
Yep.
deleted it. So
You should have just ignored me and put it out.
no, I can't. I can't. You did it. I can't just put it out there. That'd be horrible.
No. I am all for you putting it out. I'm all for you putting it out there. You hear that, ladies and gents? I'm giving Twitch Satan permission to put it out there.
Twitch Satan. I will see if I can find it and put it out because I think it is my favourite song that you have done.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, I love that song. I do put it on because it is just gives me an itch to go and have a scrap with people as well. So
it's also a perfect example of. So I was concerned when I filmed that I was going to hit faux pas territory because for anyone who's not heard it or who hasn't been able to put two and two together, I know I'm telling you everyone else, to suck eggs, but it's a filk of the Reigns of Castamere from Game of Thrones. And when that show was at its absolute zenith and I heard it, I sat there and I was like, I want to filk Reigns of Castamere. All right then, but I need to filk it to I need to change it to such a point that only the tune is intact and that none of the lyrics are recognizable to absolutely squash the drunken singer quota. And I think I managed with it.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
With it quite nicely. And I've not heard another filk of it on the field, which I was quite surprised by.
No, it's definitely the only one of that song that I've heard out there, and I get around the field a lot as well. So no, you've definitely done well there. Rosie/Lucy has said, I always walk past the music tent in Naval when you're all practicing in the day on my way back to my striding. What has been, other than what you just sang, your favourite song to perform at Song and Story Time?
Ooh, right.
That's a good one.
That's a difficult question because obviously picking amongst my songs is hardest, but Last of My Stride. Oh gosh, they're not all my favourite. There's some songs that I absolutely wish I'd never wrote. Not doing the 9, but it's a real toss-up between Last of My Striding and The Lament for Catazar Bay. Simply because Last of My Striding has done the rounds now. Everyone knows, everyone enjoys it, and is it Tom Garrett? Is it Tom Garrett who's the photographer? Tom Garrett did a soundscape around Anvil and managed to catch it literally from start to finish. So that pretty much spread it around. So thank you, Tom. Tom. But yeah, everyone loves it. Everyone joins in, and that's fantastic. And that's what I like about performing is when everyone's joining in and when there's, that collaborative effort, when people harmonize, because I love harmonies. If I was thinking about this earlier, if I could clone myself 2 or 3 times, or hell, if I could put a band together and we could harmonize everything, life would be great. Hey, if anyone's out there and wants to join my harmony crew, please do. I'd love to have you on board. More harmonies for days.
Well, I'll tell you what then, the people, we're having a Hefty Fan meet-up on the Thursday evening.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Because we're going to do it before, because my Thursday evening is, my highlight is coming up to the 2 feet and sitting around that fire with everyone there and drinking, singing, because it's just so much fun. So I'm pretty sure I will be able to drag the majority of the Hefty Fam up with me. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of people here who want to sing with you.
Please, bring them all. Bring them all. The more the merrier. But yeah, sorry, we've rambled off point. It's Lament for Catazar Bay, which is my filk of Leave Her, Johnny, Leave Her, which it's one of my favourites, not just because it's a sea shanty, which everyone can join in with, but because it's a song that's grown over time. If anyone's on the Navarre Music forums, absolute on Navarre Music Group, absolutely worth going to on Facebook if you want to, just swap filks and chat to the various performers in Navarre's, or just lurk to occasionally watch me go, now I'm going to vomit out 11 songs in one go. It evolved because the Lament to Catazar Bay is about a big battle that happened happened on the field where our single navy heroically went out to fight for Grendel and the sea, not realizing that they were outnumbered 3-1. Didn't go great the first time, went less great the second time, and then, well, they kind of sank it all, burnt the harbour to the ground, salted the earth, and danced on the ashes, and pretty much said, "We rule the sea, sod you." So the song was written after the first battle, and it was a lament for that loss.
Mm.
And then the second battle happened, so I had to add a little verse doing that, and then they burnt down the whole harbour, and suddenly I'm like, what do I do? And I remember going on before and then going, circumstances keep changing, and I keep having to add verses. Is this normal? Well, and Jamie came down from on high and went, "This post, man, this post. I like that songs are evolving because that's what they should do." And that bit of praise made that song for me, and the fact that it's grown over time made it for me, and the fact that it's now gotten to a point where I can't sing that song in front of a brass coaster without getting to the end and somebody rising to their feet and singing the hopeful verse at the end, so it doesn't end on a downer. And that lights a little warm flame in my heart every single time. So I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, definitely. Pete's asked, how often does one hear renditions of the Misty Mountains?
I've heard 2 so far.
I think the only time I've ever heard it was you singing it outside the tavern when everyone in the tavern was singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I do that. All you have to do is push me over and lean over me and go, "Sing Misty Mountains," and I will literally sing one of the first songs from my childhood. I know about 4 or 5 versions of that song. I know the BBC Radio Play version. I know the Ed Sheeran version. I know the movie version. I know the 1957 Hobbit version of that song. Gosh, there's another. I know the what are they called? Calame Profundis. They're a huge YouTube a cappella group. I know their version, and then I know 2 more versions by the YouTubers. I love that song. The Hobbit was the first book I read from cover to cover, and that song by J.R.R. Tolkien is just my jam.
Oh, yeah.
Ask anyone who's ever gone along to The Hobbit, because I worked in the pub called The Hobbit, to their yearly shindigs and has seen me drunkenly bellow it out. There's videos of me doing it out there somewhere.
Oh, yes. Yes, there are. Yeah.
Oh, but Misty Mountain Filks, I've heard 2 on the field at Songs and Stories. Don't let that put you off, because it's a beautiful song. It's got a beautiful tune to it, and no matter which version you go for, and the fact that there are 6 or 7 versions out there should show you how much people love that song. Yeah. Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got one, go for it.
Definitely. Gigi has said, I've learned the Fishmonger's Daughter on ukulele, but that's as far as I'm going with the Witcher-related stuff.
There's nothing wrong with the Fishmonger's Daughter. It's good for the soul.
Yeah. Oh, God, Pete, no. Not the song that was for... There's a little fly just flying around me. Me, KP. The Streamer's Heresy, that's why we love it. Pete says, was the song Return of the Mac? No. Definitely not.
Oh, man. Is it wrong that I want to Filk Mac the knife and make it about you?
That's awesome. I love that song.
Yeah.
He's done a filk about the 2 feet. Oh yeah, Mike's done a filk about the 2 feet cider as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Yes, I completely forgot. I'll have to fish this out. I'll have to fish it all out for you.
So, just out of pure interest, is it a filk? Is it a filk of the Dreadnoughts? So the Dreadnoughts, the latest one of it. God, what's it called? It goes, "Follow me, lads, 'cause this ain't no something."
I can't remember, to be honest, off the top of my head. I'll have to fish it out and then.
I should know this because
if someone knows where it is. Oh, is that Mike back now? Yes, he's back. Stream ended early because I killed my character by accident. Lol.
Oh no!
He must have known we're talking about him. So the model railwayman in chat, that's Mike. He's the one who has done these songs. So Justin has questions. Yes, that's the
Yes,
right song.
we do.
Gigi said.
I'm trying-
Yes.
Hold on.
So yeah, so that's the
Jolly
the-
Rouge. Jolly Rouge. Is it a filk of Jolly Rouge? Is what I want to know.
I think Gigi has said yes. It is.
Amazing. I love that song. Bring it to my field. It's going to be great.
In this that right. So it's amazing. Thank you for the bits, Abby. Also, just so you know, Abby, this is the very tall man who you'll be stood next to in the trailer. So, Abby will be stood next to you in the trailer. So I'm having one male presenting, one female presenting, or a non-binary, basically, just so just so it shows everything off. And she is tiny. She's very small. She's 5 foot.
That's going to show a very interesting juxtaposition, isn't it?
It really will. It's going to be great. It's going to be so good.
Will she also be playing a fawn, or will she be playing one of the other archetypes?
I'm not too sure, actually. Abby, do you know what archetype you're playing? As if you're playing as a Thorn or Vate or anything. So, Mike says the 2 feet brew is a Jolly Rouge filk, and classed to the owl is classed to the pig one. Both of them just reminded me of the subjects I filked them for, being good cider for the 2 feet and being drunk off their head for Mac.
Oh, thank you.
So,
I'm so
yeah.
pleased.
You'll have to, Mike, if you put the links to them both in the LARP music channel again, so Justin can go and find them after the stream and have a little listen as well. So the filk is in the music channel. Cool.
I am resisting joining in now because this is one thing I love about me is you give me a tune and you say filk it, Justin, and I'll go, all right, give me a minute. I'll come back.
Abby hasn't chosen. That will be chosen when I sit down and go through everything.
Okay, because I'm going to be a fawn-covered fawn in fawn sauce, I'm afraid to say.
Yes.
Because that is what I have been forever.
Yes.
All hail the fawns.
Yeah, fighty McFight.
I am.
John has said, so you can have a whiskey and pour it over ice, or you can have a Seawolves if it's sadness you like. Or join us up the steading and we'll set your heart aglow, and how you'll feel when the real cider starts to flow.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy, Mike. Amazing. Thank you for the free advertising.
Classed for the Owl isn't on Spotify yet, but it will be before the end of the stream. Thorn Sauce. Pete says that Abby will come up to your knees.
That's all right.
Right. Not Spotify, SoundCloud. He does have a SoundCloud.
Yes, awesome. You'll have to link me to it afterwards.
Excellent. So, tangents. Right. Let's get back to. So we've had. What was your favourite song to perform? So that was. Yep. So that's good. Because I mean, leave her, Johnny, leave her. That is the song that I hear everywhere.
Oh yes.
In that
film. It gets around.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
It's also a very easy song to do, and anyone can pick up on it, and that's probably the best bit about it, isn't it? Because you know how I was talking about faux pas? Sea shanties are the absolute exception to that.
Okay.
No, they 100, as far as I'm concerned, they 100% are, because they're where everyone starts, and they're sort of the safe place, if that's what makes sense. You come up on the field with your brand new. God, I'm going to feel awful saying this. With your brand new filk of WAP, somebody's probably going to heave a rock at you. You come along and you do a filk to South Australia, everyone's going to go, bravo, solid attempt. For God's sake, people out there, don't do a cover of WAP.
Please don't.
I only have so many weekends a year, please.
Yeah.
I'll be good.
I will. I won't care what happens to my character. I will end your character in the middle of song and story time. I'll just end you. That's it.
Oh, you know, Rusty Compass is now going to do it, right?
Oh, hope not.
And it's going to be like WAV, wet ass Marushkin.
Yeah, something like that. Oh man,
It's going to be amazing.
But that would be so bad though.
I'm going to die inside, but it's going to be amazing.
Probably. Oh man, yeah.
I do love Rusty Compass. They're fantastic.
It'll be yeah, it'll be the talk of the field. Be said, did you hear the Rusty Compass got jumped for singing Wet Ass for Rushkin? Yeah, some bald bloke with a beard just came along and murdered them all on stage. Oh man. It's awful. It's truly awful.
Dude.
So,
Oh man.
that's so.
They'll probably pin, you know what they'll do? They'll pin Bessie's murder on you.
Oh yeah, probably.
Because you're clearly the Bard Slayer.
Well, perhaps I should song and story time. Then I'll just come along and just attack everyone. Just see what. Let's just see what happens.
Anyway, back to the topic. Back to the topic before we go completely off it.
So, which filk are you most proud of? Technically, a different question to favourite.
Okay, which one? Which one am I most proud of? Obviously, Last of My Striding, from Last of the Giants. I'm really proud of that one, like superbly so. But gosh, yeah, I think that's the one I'm probably the proudest of.
Yeah.
Because it took off and it went, which is a bit of a cop-out answer because I'd have loved to have said that. Oh, I'm trying to think of another definite filk which I had real trouble with. No, I can't. My brain's not firing. Like on full cylinders. I'll pop 5 minutes from now. I'll go this song, so I can shake the screen.
Excellent. So John's asked, what's it like singing a previous character's songs with a new character? I believe Justin is the only singer that's been on where the Bard character died.
Yeah, so that's been interesting.
Mm.
It really has been, to the point that if anyone's not on the Empire forums, go on the Empire forums. They're pretty good. Really good. I went onto the Empire forums and I started a whole thread about it. And if you want to search it out, it's called A Dead Man's Song.
Yeah.
And I asked people, and they were like, well, provided you say it's not your song, your song, you should be able to get away with it. Because obviously I felt in two minds. In one sense, I've written a song, I want to sing it. In another, that character that I was playing was known for that song, so maybe I should keep that on the down low. And I have tried to do so after I've died. In fact, a perfect example was after Keaton got kicked the bucket. I went and sung the song which he was going to debut that event.
Oh. Yeah.
That was Course of War. That was Course of War. But after Ferris died, who was my first character, who wrote Doing the Nine, The Lament for Catazar Bay, and pretty much most of the 2 Feet's back catalogue, which doesn't hit the field as often. It was a bit odd stepping up and singing my songs again. But I couldn't really stop myself, and the best example of all, in fact, is so years ago, Jamie elbowed me one morning because he was a bit sore in the throat and said, "Hey, Justin, sing the battle cadence." And I bellowed it out, and it turned into a thing. And it continued to be a thing. And then Keaton dropped dead, and then the event after, we're marching off to battle, and nobody's singing as Fawn. We're literally, our column has just gotten into the dip, and somebody's trying to sing as Fawn at the front, and it's quiet, it's a bit flat, and everyone's a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
And I've been keeping my hands across my mouth this entire time to see whether it sinks in. And at this point, we end up in a trouser leg of time moment, right? Down one trouser leg, as Fawn was not sung that day, it was a bit quiet, and everyone either went in and grimly fought on or was a bit demoralized. And then there's the one we live in where I was like, fuck it. Filled up my lungs and bellowed, and literally the shoulders of everyone around me suddenly like unkinked as they were like, oh yeah, this is what we need before we get it and get stuck in.
Yeah.
And we're glad the nation isn't losing this. And I've not felt guilty about singing my songs since then, because at the end of the day, sure, Empire's a realistic enough system where if your character dies, everything they did died. But people are here to have fun. And if I'm providing half of the fun, well, not half of the fun, infinitesimal portion of the fun, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I make people happy? And why should I not make people happy doing something I love? So
No,
I hope
definitely.
I answered that one.
Yeah. Rosie said this. I like this one.
Go on.
She has said that she spent. I spent nearly 3 months trying to filk "We Didn't Start the Fire" into anything Empire related. The project was swiftly put into the bin to think about what it had done. People like that. Mike's linked everything in the Discord. That's
Amazing.
good. Pete said, "In Electric Dreams, though could be a tune for Electric Dreams could be a tune for Phil King, Justin, and go." So yeah, thoughts on those two?
No. Okay, so first things first. Electric Dreams, no, because and this is another thing that we bump into. So people have gone on to various forums and they've suggested, "Hey, has anyone filked this?" And you sort of sit there, and Electric Dreams is probably a perfect example because even though the musical style is what's coming into that,
Yeah.
somebody singing Electric Dreams a cappella is going to sound a bit empty. What you need is those synths coming behind that. You need the whole band to get the whole effect of Electric Dreams. Exactly the same with We Didn't Start the Fire. It's a collaborative effort. So I wouldn't dream of singing that on the field because as loud and catastrophic as I am, I don't think I could do that justice, and I don't think I could carry Electric Dreams home. But give me 5 minutes, and I'll think something up. In fact, I'm going to pull up the lyrics to Electric Dreams and see what I can fart out for you. If you want to know something utterly hilarious, I spent a very unproductive week trying to filk Fortunate Son. You know, da-dow, da-dow, da-dow.
Oh yeah.
No, you know that. I tried to filk that.
Wow.
I know.
That's
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I
did
know.
that go?
It ain't me, I'm not some Dornish son, no, it ain't me, that ain't me, I'm just the strident one. Some people are born, oh god, no, I'm not going to go down that route.
Yeah.
It was like some people are born with virtue in the heart, stone walls high above them, and I literally got 4 nations in before I was like, this has to stop. No one wants to hear Fortunate Son.
Rosie's just said, "Ooh, counter idea. Someone could do a history video of the Empire with 'We Didn't Start the Fire.'"
Yes,
That's good.
that would be so good.
I found a song and I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's a song in the new Valhalla game.
Her mother told me.
Yes.
My mother told me. Yes.
Yeah. And
Solid combat.
I sent that one off to Alex about a couple of months ago, and he's come up with something because he wants that to be Hurst Hall's battle cadence.
Awesome.
So
No, that's good.
So
Take it, grab it with both legs before everyone else grabs it.
Well, I've announced it on stream now, so yeah, hopefully no one does that.
Excellent. Plant your flag. Don't worry, I'm not going to touch that because I liked it, but it barely needed filking.
Yes.
It barely needed filking, but at the same time, I was like, so I've seen 11 different videos of this song and the same thing. Man, that's going to be around. I change one line to that, someone's going to throw a rock at me and go, "No, Vikings!" So,
yeah, tell me about it. Mike's asked, I'm not
I have
sure.
all faith.
Well, I think Alex has sent me the lyrics for it. Where did he send them to? Let me load it up. Let me load it up and see what I can. Oh, actually, it might be. He might have messaged them to me. Let's see what we have here.
So while you're digging them out, I want to tell a bit of a fun anecdote. So, ironically, as much as I think Jamie is an absolute god, he is not the first LARP bard I've ever come across. So now, let's see, about 3 or 4 years before I went to Empire, I was on Candleston with a system that doesn't exist anymore, and our event was a bit of a disaster, except for one thing: the Crimson Moon Tavern and Volsanger. Literally, if you don't know who he is and you aren't going, yes, Volsanger, Google him.
Okay.
Because him and his wife run the Crimson Moon Tavern, which is a LARP tavern which they rent out to events and sell drinks for real money. And oh, I've turned my screen off. And Ian is a bard. I know, hilarious. And Ian is a bard. Ian Volsanger is a bard, and he is phenomenal. He is the first LARP musician I ever heard. That's the first time I heard Phil King. That's the first time I heard it, and I kicked myself for not going back in time and that not being the spark that set off, the great configuration. Jamie's got that one down. But yeah, he's the first LARP bard I ever heard, and he's phenomenal. Go look him up. You'll find him on YouTube. Go say hi to him at an event. The man is a living legend.
Awesome. So he hasn't really sent lyrics. It's more of he's just talking about it all. So the hook of the song "Hugh Many Foemen" could easily be adapted to "Hugh Many Jotun." Really like the Hugh word because it sounds like cutting enemies down like trees.
Steve, don't spread this across the internet. I want to see. Don't spread this across YouTube. I want to see it when it comes to the field. It has to be a surprise.
Yeah, so but that's when it it kind of stopped after that, and that was the 20th of September.
Maybe more.
So
we've got till April.
Yeah, so I will have to sit down with the lyrics and have a look at it all and take what he's done there as well.
Prod him, make him sing more.
Yeah, because he's got a really good voice as well, but he sits there. He's got a very, very good voice. So what else have we had here? So Mike has asked, I'm not sure if it's already been asked, but if a video game soundtrack / song, excuse me, is more folky, e.g. Daughter of the Sea from WoW.
I have tried. Before you ask, I've tried.
Though that may be on the too popular end, would that be suitable for Phil King?
Yes, and I've heard at least one out. That there's at least one out there. Bring your own game, because I love Daughter of the Sea. I absolutely love it. And how do I put this? I imagine most WoW players, or most players who came across it via WoW, will be conscientious enough to listen to your amazing rendition without screaming, "Forlorn! Fuck the Horde!" and having an angry brawl. Angry brawl while you're trying to filk it, going, "Oh God!" Also, somebody has done a guitar arrangement of it. I can't for the life of me remember the name of them. I can put it up. I can send, if Steve puts us in touch, I can send it to you later, which is absolutely spot on if you're going to do it musical wise, as somebody has tabbed it out beautifully.
Well, thankfully we have an entire channel dedicated to music in the Discord, so
nice.
So feel free to jump in there.
I will dig it out and put it on there.
What else did we have? There was another one. So,
but Daughter of the Sea, beautiful song. You have impeccable taste.
Rhiannon has said, "I'm hoping to filk Cousin Jack. Has anyone done that?"
No, I've no. Oh, wow. Go, Rhiannon, go!
There we go. Yes, dibs, dibs.
Dib it.
Do the thing.
Do the thing. Why aren't you doing the thing?
Do the thing. The good thing is that where we've got so many fantastic musicians in the Discord. So obviously, like we've got yourself, we've got Dawn, we've got Jamie, and then we've got people who do all of this sort of stuff.
Don't forget Sam and Pod.
Of course, yeah. Sam's in. I've forgotten. I'd forgotten he was in the Discord. Yeah, so we got Sam as well. So we got so many people there. I would definitely say if you need help with lyrics or doing anything like that, then prod people and ask, because people love to do it. Don't prod me though to ask, because I can't do it. I'm rubbish at it, so just
I
don't even
I
worry.
absolutely love it. I will turn on my Discord app again and put up with your endless shit posting just to answer your questions
There
with
you
if you
go.
want.
She says I'm gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
I will take people up on that. So yeah, definitely put in and ask questions. I'm certain that they will be there to help and to talk and stuff like that. If you want to, even if you want to have a bit of time just to talk and sing and stuff like that, I will happily move people into like my private chat thing where I stream, so that they can do it and talk privately. If you want to do that as well, anything to help out.
Indeed,
So
because the
right,
music is great. Do the thing. Join us. Join the fun because it's just so good.
do we have any requests in chat at all? Because
So,
I'm just keeping an eye on the time as well because
how long have we been going for?
an hour and
Oh,
hour and a quarter at the moment.
that's not so bad.
No, but I have a child who needs to go to
Yes,
bed.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I've
Crow,
met your child. She's lovely.
she's all right. No,
What was
she's
that crow
wonderful.
on the cradle?
Crow on the cradle.
So that's one I'm super proud of, but I didn't write that. So just to put the record straight on that, Crow on the Cradle is on the wiki. The first time I heard it in the field, it was the player of Dan Bracken's song, who I'm not going to
Yeah.
name drop. He sang it, and it was wonderful. And then about a year after that, this is after Garak, the hero, had died, and Gabby had taken over as the voice of the nation. But she needed a rest because Knife Fight Club had died, so Senate Motions was in place. So she was going off, and she was looking for people to host. And yours truly got to host it and sit one evening. So me and Johnny, as my backup, Johnny being my little brother and a musical genius on guitar, sat down and ploughed through. And before the event, I sat down and arranged Crow on the Cradle. Now it fell completely flat when we performed it because me and Johnny just weren't quite in sync with the harmonies. And then about a year after that, I sat down and was like, I'm going to throw all of this on SoundCloud. And I came back to it, and that one has taken off. I'm incredibly proud of that arrangement, but I didn't write it. The credit doesn't go to me. As far as I know, the credit goes to the player of Dan Bracken's song, and somebody can correct me if it goes a layer deeper than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can totally sing that.
So we've also had a request for the Lament of Katazar Bay.
Ooh, all right then. Do you think I've got time to fit both in?
I think well if we'll say we'll finish on two then, so if you could do both of them, and
All right then.
yeah,
Cool.
we'll do that because I'm 100% certain you'll be on again. So so yeah, so we've got Crow on the Cradle then.
Okay, right. So I apologise if the mic does cut out because there's obviously a lot of holding notes in here, and microphones don't like it when I do that. But we'll have a crack. So, 3, 2, 1. Summer is ending, the brokers weigh corn. Now is a time for a child to be born. She'll laugh at the darkness and smile without fear. And if she's a fawn, she'll carry a spear. Sang the crow, on the cradle. Sang the crow, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. And if it should be that your baby's of 8, never you mind if she shares Nevar's fate. With blood on her fingers and a knife in her hand, the Lord and eternal behind her will stand. Sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. Sang the crow, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. And if it should be that your child takes the brand, they'll dance along with her, beside her they'll stand, with a scar on her cheekbone and a suit of dark mail. Behold the ruins of Terunea, sang the crow, on the cradle, sang the crow, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. Crow on the cradle, the husks in the night. Somebody's baby is born to our fight. The crow on the cradle, the green and the black. Oh, somebody's baby is not coming back, not coming back. Sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle, sang that crow, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. You're striding and steading, they'll sweat and they'll fight to hold back the vines that creep in the night. Hush-a-bye, little one, never you weep. The corpse glade is waiting for when you shall sleep. Sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle, sang that crow, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. Now bring me my bow and I'll shoot that bird dead. That's what Nerval and Fawn long ago said. But there's a crow on the cradle, oh, what can we do? Oh, this is a thing that we leave up to you. Leave up to you, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle, sang the crow, sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle. The crow on the cradle, the husks in the night. Somebody's baby is born to our fight. The crow on the cradle, the cities of dust. Oh, someday we'll take back all that we've lost, all that we've lost. Sang the crow, sang the crow on the cradle, sang the crow, sang that crow, sang the crow on the cradle, sang the crow on the cradle, sang the crow on the cradle. And done. Boom.
That was really good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I tried to keep it as low key as I could.
It just seems to be when you're holding notes. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
It's bizarre.
it's weird. It's at that point it goes, nah, none of that. For example, I could just go me, and did you guys get like a weird waveform? Because I was
No.
constantly getting that. No, you didn't. You lucky things. You lucky people.
You lucky bastard. They hanged me upside down last week. Oh,
Oh,
dear.
Monty Python. So I want to get something out there because it was asked on other. I don't even know if it was asked on other streams, but it's to do with getting nervous because obviously
Yeah.
everyone looks at the singers in the circle and goes, "Look at those confident people. Their egos must be the sizes of houses, stepping up and singing in front of people." And that is something that was built up over time, and that is something that the ice has to be broken on.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, if not so much anymore, but if through the first few years of me showing up and the singing, the song stories and singing, all you had to do was look at my right leg and it would literally be vibrating into the floor because I was nervous.
Yep.
It doesn't go into my throat, but that's like one of my tells where it took years for my legs to stop shaking when I'd stand in front of a crowd. Everyone goes for it. It's something you become acclimatized to. Obviously, to some people, it's just not their thing. And horses for courses. But if you want to persevere, it's nowhere near as terrifying. Everyone is there to have a good time. People are wonderful. As Sam Wheatley loves to yell, and as Gabby loves to yell, no fear, no apologies.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Gabby. I wish you could have had her on here because she has kept the tradition of song and stories alive and is the absolute bomb. And she's a fantastic musician, both in the field and outside of the field. Go check out her bands; they're amazing.
Yeah, she's very, very busy at the moment because they've just moved and birthday and stuff. Yeah, it's really stressful for them at the moment. Yeah, I mean, touching on that as well, there was a girl who performed in Wintermark, and she literally walked into the tent and said, "I'd like to sing." She said, "I haven't sung in front of anyone before, and it's my own original piece." And we were like, "Yeah, great, go for it." There was like 20 of us in the Ashton Hall tent, and she stood there and she started to sing. Then her legs started to go and her hands were trembling and stuff like that. And then the solitary tear started to go down, and I was just like, "Oh." She went, "I can't do it." She went, "I can't do it." And so she wandered. She went outside for 5 minutes, and we were just like talking, and people were like outside with her and stuff. She came back in, and everyone, big cheer was going up for her when she came back in. And then when she started to sing it again, everyone was like slapping their legs and clapping along, stamping their feet, really getting into it. And it was just like, yeah, you're really, really good. And that, so yeah, and she did, and she came back and she did it, and I've heard her singing a few times now around and stuff, and that, and she's it's always that first time. It's just just take that first step.
Breaking through the ice. It's breaking through the ice. It's climbing that wall, and it's realizing that your stage. Well, you either realize that your stage fright is too much, and I've seen it happen, or you realize that your stage fright is surmountable. In fact, to quote good old Joe Abercrombie and Logan Nine Fingers, it is better to do a thing than live with the fear of doing it.
So I can do this. Is that Idwin? Yes, that's Idwin. That is Idwin. Gabby.
Yay. Yes,
I can do this and talk without any issues. I can go to Comic-Con and be up on stage and talk in front of a few hundred people.
And dude, my knees would have been cracking together up on that stage.
No issues whatsoever. I can get told from before Comic-Con and going, someone wants to talk to you about LARP. And I was like, okay. It said no photos. Go to the green room, and someone's there who wants to talk to you. I was like, okay. Simon Pegg. It was great. And he's just there quizzing me on LARP and Empire, and it's amazing.
Amazing.
It was so good.
I hope we get to see Simon Pegg there one day. That'd be ace.
It would be incredible. So it was just like, this is
Can you imagine that, walking down and going, sorry, I've got thrones to make, and just wandering off in the opposite direction.
So I can do all of that. There's no issues whatsoever. Get me to sing a song in front of 7 people. No. Can't do it. I can't do it. Just can't do it.
It's fine. It is absolutely fine because my God, man, you're still enjoying yourself, right? You're still
Oh
loving
yeah.
all of this. Then you don't need to sing. If singing is something, now don't get me wrong. If you were beating yourself up about this every day and crying into your pillow because you can't sing in front of 7 people, I might twist your arm and encourage you. But dude, look at what you've built. You don't need to stand in front of 7 people and sing. You've stood in front of one of hundreds and hundreds and sold LARP and made it, just brought it out there, man. You've done the thing.
Yeah, it's been good fun. So, right. So we'll call it there, and we're going to finish with
I was going to fit more of you in my mouth.
it always comes back to blowjobs.
It never leaves.
For me, once I'm there, this is Mike. For me, once I'm there, for me being either small sessions or streaming, I'm running on routine. But until the moment I get wherever I am, utterly petrified if I think about it.
Yeah.
But I've watched you stream, Mike, and you're fine. You've got no issues. You sit there chatting.
Now.
Joe, he does. It's something I really want to have a look at properly. He does single player tabletop roleplay games,
Oh, nice.
and it's really interesting.
That's interesting. Like on the PC or pen and paper? No, you said tabletop, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's a deck of cards piece, and it basically it says like it gives you scenarios, and then you draw a card, and it tells you what's happened, and then you write it down, and stuff. It's really interesting. So I'll chuck you the link to his Twitch Twitch as well, so you can go and see. Rosie says my biggest fear of singing in front of others has stemmed from singing in front of others before and getting belittled by most of them. Yeah.
Rosie, I hate to tell you this, but those people were bastards and weren't worth the skin that they were born with, let alone anything else.
No.
The majority, and even though, because there'll be 2,000 of us on that field, statistically there are going to be bastards. They're sort of outnumbered by the good people.
Yeah.
And the great thing about bastards, if they do say something silly, I'll just shank them for you.
Yeah, and I'll bugger them.
Steady on.
The other thing to do, something that's just occurred as well, is that because everybody's here, everyone's part of the Hefty fam and stuff. Mm-hmm. Come and sing on Thursday night with us.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I would.
There's gonna be like
Tasty mum sing time. That would be great. Please come along. Come hang out under the 2 feet awning. I'll even bring some more things to sit on.
I think there's gonna be I think there's gonna be like 40 of us.
Perfect.
So there'll be so many people there. So come and sing in front of that lot, and then.
I think the most we've had under there was 26, so we might be able to stuff a few more in. We'll figure it out.
We'll just bring chairs. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
So Ryan says, I find if I don't look at anyone watching me, I can do it. So I'll just be staring into the middle distance.
Yes. Yeah. Stare over people's heads. That absolutely helps.
I use tabletop. Mike says I use tabletop sim to show what's going on rather than just a camera feed.
Nice.
My desk. That's cool. Okay, so if someone comes up to you in game asking you to stab someone, that will be me.
Good times.
It says the hordes descend. The Hefty fam hordes descend. So yeah, that's great. So we're gonna finish with a song. We're gonna finish with was it the Lament of Katazar Bay, wasn't it?
Yes.
And and then and then we'll call it there, and then everyone can go off and have their evenings.
Hey, excellent. We'll have to do this again sometime. Anyhow,
definitely
onwards and upwards. Bit more water first. So I thought I heard the captain say, "Leave her, Johnny, leave her. For we were near sunk in Katazar Bay. Now it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows, but it's time for us to leave her."
Was a summer day when we set our sails. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. With the freeborn storm we could not fail, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows, and it's time for us to leave her. There was a magic fog upon that sea. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. It hid both friend and enemy. Now it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows, and it's time for us to leave her. And so the Grendel arrived with the rising sun. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. They outnumbered us near 3-1. There were times. Now it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows, but it's time for us to leave her. So with fire and steel we forged ahead. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Leaving naught but wrecks and bloody dead, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows, and it's time for us to leave her. Near 200 ships were lost that day. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. In our defeat at Qatar Bay, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. The tide still flows and the wind still blows, and it's time for us to leave her. So we limp back to that freeborn shore. Leave her, Johnny, leave her, and are told that she would sail no more. And now it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows. And now it's time for us to leave her. Which is where the original ends. So at this point, somebody in the freeborn will go, "That's not how it ends," and will sing. So for 6 long months in dry dock she'll stay. Leave her, Johnny, leave her, and a landsman's role you'll learn to play. But now it's time for us to leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the tide still flows and the wind still blows, and it's time for us to leave her. And after 6 long months we'll go back to shore. Leave her, Johnny, leave her, and take our new ship back out to war. And it's time for us to sail her. Oh, sail her, Johnny, sail her. Oh, sail her, Johnny, sail her. High the tide still flows and the wind still blows, and it's time for us to sail her. And if I'm feeling particularly crude, I'll sing the verse about
the docks being burnt down again, but I'm not going to do that. We'll leave it on a high note. And that's our bay.
Fantastic. So, Mike has just said, this has been great. Thanks for the slight plugging. I really wasn't expecting it. Also, I might be currently extremely tempted to filk dear old Stan to a certain...
Dear old man. Ooh.
To a certain dead Justin character at the moment. Watch this space. Rosie is now revisiting all of her Google Docs for unfinished songs. This is going to be a long night.
Do it.
Pete says
Do
curse.
the thing.
Pete says curse the Grendel, and Rhiannon says wonderful.
Curse
Love how uplifting it is at the end.
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll do something unspeakable to them, despite the fact that we probably shouldn't.
Yeah, probably not. Jeez, yeah, it'll only end badly.
Oh, it'll end gloriously, as the Dornish would say.
Yeah, that's badly.
Wow.
That's so badly.
You say badly, but there's usually a giant pile of enemy corpses as well as theirs, so that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, normally comparable. So, yeah, the quote there, do the thing, just in 2020.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So,
please, do the thing.
So we'll call it there. So thank you everyone in chat for coming on, asking questions, and watching. Really, you're the ones who make this happen. Thank you for giving the bits and everything as well, everybody. That's been fantastic. Justin, thank you so much for coming on again, mate.
It's all right, dude. I love being on here. Genuinely, it's really good fun. Man,
I love having you on.
I have so much more I could say about all of this, but obviously we have limited.
We will do it again. I have a project planned with Jamie as well in the new year, so we'll get you involved as well. Because
the Christmas album, hit me up for that, as I wrote a silly marching song, Filk, that sounds an awful lot like a Christmas song, so I'll happily donate that.
Send it to me. I will put it there. I've only had one song, so if people want to send any songs that they've recorded, just chuck it over to me, and I'll put it on the.
I'll put it first, but I'll absolutely do it for you.
Wonderful. We'll get that. The non-Christmas album. Gigi says I've got my LARP songs up now. Guess it's time for more filking. Excellent stuff.
Gigi. Do the thing.
So there's loads out there.
And add to it.
Yeah.
To it. Dig up your stuff and add to it.
Definitely.
If Jamie Wakefield can get away with singing the theme song to Raccoons, you can get away with what you're filking. And oh my God, when he played that, we all went crazy. It was just the best.
It was good.
And, and bless him, he said afterwards, who knew that, 80s power ballads would work really well in Navarre?
Excellent. So thank you everyone for coming along and watching, chatting, and doing what you do. And thank you, Justin, for coming on as well. And I think on Monday it's LARP chat with Pell.
Ooh.
So that's with Pell, yes.
With Pell Senpai.
With Pell Senpai. So that's going to be an interesting one as well.
Pell Senpai, put me on the wiki with you.
So it should all be good fun. It should all be good fun. So thanks very much. Take care, everyone. You have a good evening, and Justin, stay on because we'll have a little chat afterwards.
Okay.
I'll put this thing to you. So see ya. Take care. Bye bye.
Do the thing. Bye.